Before I traveled to Iran, my mind was shaped by news headlines, images of stern faces, conflict, and warnings for Westerners. The media painted a picture of a place shrouded in tension, a country defined by its politics and the cautionary tales told by those who had never set foot there. I'd seen the same images over and over: protests, sanctions, and a sense of distance that felt almost insurmountable. It was easy to believe that Iran was a place to be feared, not explored. But travel has taught me that the real story is found among the people, not the politics. The heart of a country beats in its everyday moments, in laughter shared over tea, in the bustle of a market, in the warmth of a stranger's smile. I knew that if I wanted to understand Iran, I had to look beyond the headlines and seek out these moments for myself. My friends and family were worried. "Is it safe?" they asked, their voices tinged with concern and uncertainty. They'd heard the same stories I had, and their fears were real. But curiosity won out over fear. I felt a pull, a need to see the truth with my own eyes, to experience a place that so many seemed to misunderstand. I wanted to see Iran for myself, to meet its people and experience its culture beyond the headlines. I longed to wander through ancient bazaars, to taste unfamiliar flavors, and to listen to stories told in a language I barely understood. I wanted to discover the everyday life that rarely makes the news. Travel, I believe, is a way to challenge the narratives that divide us. It's a chance to break down barriers, to replace fear with understanding, and to find common ground in unexpected places. Every journey is an act of curiosity and courage, a step toward seeing the world as it truly is, not just as it's portrayed. The journey began with a shift in mindset, leaving behind preconceptions and packing an open mind. I filled my bag with essentials, but also with questions and hopes. I wondered what I would find, who I would meet, and how my own perspective might change along the way. I was ready to be surprised, to learn, and to have my worldview expanded. I knew that travel isn't just about seeing new places. It's about letting those places change you, about opening yourself up to the unfamiliar and embracing the unknown. With my visa in hand, I set out for ancient Persia, seeking human connection in a place so often misunderstood. The stamp in my passport felt like a key, unlocking a world of history, culture, and possibility. I was eager to step into a story that was entirely my own. This is the story of the Iran I found, a country that shattered my expectations. From the first moment, I realized that reality was far richer and more complex than anything I'd imagined. The city streets buzzed with life, and every encounter challenged what I thought I knew. It's a story of hospitality, beauty, and the realization that we share far more than we think. I was welcomed into homes, offered tea by strangers, and treated not as an outsider but as a guest. The kindness I experienced was overwhelming, and it reminded me that human connection transcends borders. The Iran I discovered deserves to be seen and understood. Its landscapes are breathtaking, its cities vibrant, and its people full of stories waiting to be heard. There is so much more to this country than meets the eye. Let me take you there. Let me show you the Iran that changed me, and perhaps will change you too. My journey began in Tehran, a city where ancient traditions and modern ambitions collide in a vibrant tapestry. The city pulses with energy, its wide boulevards and bustling bazaars alive with the sounds of daily life. From the moment I arrived, I was swept up in the rhythm of the capital, where the snow-capped Alborz Mountains stand as silent guardians over the city's ever-changing skyline. Tehran is a place of contrasts, where glass towers rise beside centuries-old mosques, and where the aroma of fresh bread mingles with the scent of blooming flowers in city parks. The city's heartbeat is felt in its crowded markets, its lively cafes, and the laughter of families strolling beneath the shade of plane trees. But it was outside the capital that Iran's diversity truly unfolded before my eyes. As I left the city behind, the landscape transformed. Rolling hills gave way to vast plains, and the air grew heavy with the scent of earth and wildflowers. In Isfahan, I stood in awe at Naksh-e-Jahan Square, a masterpiece of Persian architecture. Surrounded by shimmering blue tiles and centuries of history, I wandered through grand mosques and palaces, each telling stories of empires past. The square buzzed with life, children playing, artisans selling their crafts, and the call to prayer echoing across the open space. Yazd, a desert city of mud brick and ingenious wind catchers, felt timeless as I wandered its alleys at sunset. The golden light danced on ancient walls, and the silence of the desert was broken only by the distant call of a muezzin. Here, the ingenuity of generations was evident in every wind tower and hidden courtyard. In Shiraz, the city of poets and gardens, I found tranquility among roses and fountains. The air was fragrant with blossoms, and the gentle sound of water invited quiet reflection. It was easy to see why this city inspired some of the world's greatest poetry, as every garden seemed to hold a secret waiting to be discovered. Nearby, the ruins of Persepolis whispered stories of ancient empires. As dawn broke over the weathered columns and intricate reliefs, I imagined the grandeur of ceremonies that once took place here, and felt a deep connection to the distant past. Iran's landscapes are as varied as its history: snowy mountains that touch the sky, vast deserts where the sand glows gold at sunset, and lush gardens that offer a cool respite from the heat. Each region is a world unto itself, shaped by centuries of culture and the forces of nature. Every journey across this land revealed a new facet, a unique charm. From the rugged peaks to the endless dunes, I was constantly surprised by the beauty and diversity that unfolded with every mile. The country is a mosaic of cultures and climates, defying simple categorization. In every city and village, I encountered new languages, traditions, and faces, each adding a vibrant thread to the fabric of Iran. The Iran I experienced was vibrant, layered, and endlessly surprising. It was a place where ancient history and youthful energy coexist, where every street corner holds a story, and every encounter leaves a lasting impression. Every corner invited me to look closer and understand more, reminding me that Iran is not just a destination, but a journey through time, culture, and the enduring spirit of its people. Iranian food was a revelation, subtle, aromatic, and deeply comforting. My first chilo kebab with saffron rice and grilled tomato was unforgettable. I fell in love with stews like gourmet sabzi and fesanjan, each dish telling a regional story. Meals were acts of generosity, often shared with locals eager to introduce their favorites. Fresh bread, hearty soups, and desserts like falude became daily delights. Tea, always present, was a ritual of connection. Food in Iran is inseparable from hospitality, a language of welcome and friendship. The flavors of saffron and pomegranate will always remind me of the kindness I found. Cuisine became my doorway into the heart of Persian culture. The soul of any Iranian city is its bazaar, a labyrinth of sights, sounds, and scents. These vibrant marketplaces are more than just places to shop. They are the beating heart of daily life, where stories unfold and strangers become friends. Every step through the narrow aisles brings a new discovery, from the aroma of fresh spices to the lively banter of merchants calling out their wares. In Isfahan, I found myself wandering among skilled artisans, each one a master of their craft. One afternoon, a textile maker invited me into his small shop, eager to share not just his beautiful fabrics, but also a cup of fragrant tea. As we sat together, he spoke with pride about the generations of weavers in his family, and I realized that every thread in his textiles carried a story of heritage and passion. In Yazd, the experience was just as memorable. A cheerful confectioner, surrounded by trays of golden baklava, insisted I try a piece. When I reached for my wallet, he simply laughed and waved me off, saying, "Welcome to Iran." That simple gesture, so full of warmth, made me feel instantly at home. In Shiraz, as I strolled through a sunlit square, a young student approached me. He wanted to practice his English, but more than that, he wanted to share his love for his city. We talked about poetry, history, and the pride he felt for Shiraz's gardens and culture. His openness was a reminder of how eager Iranians are to connect with visitors. These moments of connection were everywhere, genuine, warm, and spontaneous. Whether it was a quick greeting in a crowded market or a lingering conversation over tea, I was constantly struck by the sincerity of the people I met. The concept of taraf, offering and refusing out of politeness, was confusing at first. I often found myself unsure whether to accept or decline, but soon I saw it as a beautiful dance of generosity and respect. It's a tradition that reveals the deep-rooted hospitality of Iranian culture, where making a guest feel valued is an art form in itself. People saw me not as a foreigner, but as a guest, someone to be welcomed, cared for, and included. Their kindness broke down barriers and made me feel like I belonged, even in a place so far from home. The true heart of Iran isn't found in politics, but in the everyday kindness of its people. From helping a lost traveler find their way, to sharing a meal with a stranger, These small acts of generosity are woven into the fabric of daily life. The bazaars taught me that human connection is the country's greatest treasure. In every handshake, every shared smile, and every heartfelt conversation, I discovered a warmth that lingers long after the journey ends. Before my trip, Iran was a place defined by politics and fear. But on the ground, I found warmth, curiosity, and joy. Iranians were eager to talk, especially when they learned I was American. The stereotype of a somber, repressive society quickly faded. I saw women leading in every field, families picnicking, and young people expressing themselves with style and laughter. I felt safer in Iranian cities than in many places back home. The culture of hospitality was overwhelming. People went out of their way to make me feel welcome. The disconnect between perception and reality was profound. Travel allowed me to see past government rhetoric and connect with real people. Iran is a land of dualities, ancient and modern, complex and vibrant. Meeting its people replaced stereotypes with understanding. Visiting Iran fundamentally changed how I see the world. I realized a country is not its government and people are not their politics. The kindness I received built bridges across divides I once thought insurmountable. Being treated as a guest, not a stranger, made me reflect on my own culture's hospitality. Iranians' generosity inspired me to be more open and welcoming at home. The trip forced me to confront my biases and see beyond headlines. Travel, I learned, is the antidote to fear and misunderstanding. Personal connections make it impossible to demonize an entire nation. My perspective didn't just change, it expanded. The world feels smaller and more connected now. True wealth lies in human connection. Iran reaffirmed my faith in the power of travel to foster peace. Iran's poetic soul is everywhere, in gardens, art, and daily life. At the tomb of Hafez, I watched people of all ages find meaning in poetry and prayer. An old man shared a verse with me, bridging worlds with a smile. I saw beauty in the work of carpet weavers and the geometry of mosque ceilings, art as a form of devotion. In a tea house, music became a universal language, connecting strangers in shared silence. These moments reminded me that art, beauty, and longing are universal. Iran showed me that, despite differences, our desires for connection and meaning are the same. I came seeking a political story, but found a deeply human one. The poetry of the heart is alive here, waiting for those willing to listen. My Iranian visa stamp is more than a souvenir. It's a statement. Travel can be a political act, a way to build bridges where governments build walls. Visiting misunderstood places challenges fear and propaganda. Every shared meal and conversation helps humanize a country. When you return with stories of kindness, you become an ambassador for understanding. Let your passport be a tool for connection, not just a collection of stamps. The world is a book. Don't just read one page. Be bold in your travels and seek out places that challenge your assumptions. Each journey is a chance to rewrite the narrative. Our shared humanity is the greatest story your passport can tell. My journey to Iran taught me the value of seeing the world for myself. The most rewarding experiences often lie beyond the headlines, in places we're taught to fear. I returned home with gratitude, a broadened mind, and a heart full of new connections. Travel transforms us, deepening empathy and challenging assumptions. The cups of tea, bazaar conversations, and quiet garden moments are now part of who I am. I hope this story sparks your curiosity and challenges what you think you know. Don't let fear build walls. Build bridges instead. The world is full of incredible people waiting to share their stories. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep connecting. Until next time, keep traveling.